Okay, welcome back to the Aquatic Center. For those joining us, we got the under-23 men's game, 123. 123, test 1, 2, 3. Am I on? Yeah, okay. So we're live bringing the U.S. game versus Colombia in Court 1 after an exciting, I must say, an exciting game where Turkey established its real dominance over New Zealand, putting them down 6-1. Joining me in the commentary team today is, I hope she's joining me. Where'd she go? There she is over there.
Yeah,
Rami,
just
you
doing a
join?
sound check here, Dave. Just making sure everything's set up to go. Hey guys, great to be here.
We've got 1 minute to left in starting lineups for tonight's game in the U.S. team, and I believe the U.S. are in white, in their familiar white uniforms. Starting number 1, Samuel Maltese Ben. Number 2, Nathan Baker. Number 3, Decker Oken. 4, Michael Hilton. Number 6, Shen Shizunsu Castellanos. Number 7, Ekan Akin. Number 8, Omar Mendez. Number 9, Tristan De Bruyne. And number 10, Lee Drinkwater. 12, Ray Ominous. And coach Ian Kirtnans. And U.S. are in the black, I'm being told. And yes, you are correct. The U.S. are in black, and Colombia will be in the white. Rami, would you like to introduce the Colombians? Because I struggle with names.
Yeah, I'm not sure how confident I am here. We've got, I might just go your first names, guys. I'm a bit nervous to read your last names. We've got Jordan, number 1, Santiago, number 2, Ivan, number 3, Emmanuel, number 4, Santiago and Santiago, numbers 5 and 7, Andreas, number 9, Philippe, number 10, number 11, Yuan, number 12, Andreas, number 13, Kui, and number 15, Andreas.
And we already have people on the live chat and from Colombia. Hello, Nachos, Tata, Vamos de Colombia. And I assume that is go, Colombia, go. Well done. And the game is underway, and we're going to see another ding-dong match here, Rami. And I'm looking at the fixtures of it. And Colombia are sitting number 3 at the start of the day with the U.S., and I have to go down the page to number 9. But I tell you what, after the games we've seen today, Rami, it's going to be an exciting game as the pressure being already applied by the U.S. on the Colombian team. And, the Colombia being applied to the U.S. team. And I'm going to be surprised if this is not another ding-dong match.
Yeah, we're getting to the tail end of the round robin here with just 1 day left after today. And although the fixture would show you that Colombia is well ahead of the US, you just never know getting into the game here. It's been such a close tournament. We've seen some real upsets already. And it'd be wonderful to see the US take on Colombia with some real ferocity.
Yeah, the Colombians are attacking that U.S. back line. When number 4, Michael Hilton, has tried to over to number 9, to Tristan De Bruyne, and he's making sure that he's got a clear, and backing him up is Samuel Martez in the back. But that's the Colombia's looking and probing for the defense early on in the game. But there's lots of numbers down there, and they're going in behind. They're coming beside. It's being recycled. And it looks like number 6, I think I can see on the side. That's Shin is getting in the action early and trying to help support his back line as best he can. But I tell you what, the Americans under a good defense here, and the Colombians push to the goal. And I see the puck in the tray. I've got one referee singling. No, we've got a waving off because I think number 10, Lee Drinkwater, is rightly so, asked the referee, say, wasn't that gloving? And the referee said, yes, you're right, son. And the Colombians are being asked to back up. I'm expecting a real fierce battle here with Colombia and U.S., Rami.
Yeah, some very fierce work along the back wall already. We've seen some real strength from the Colombians as they work their way towards the U.S. goal tray. But a strong drive now from the U.S., flicked well from the Colombian player to his mate. And they're going on the other wall now. Strong drive up the corridor.
Yeah, well, I think what we saw there was an excellent reverse switch that the Colombians move the puck off after stealing the puck off the Americans to move it to the other side. But again, it's bottled up on the other side, where both these countries traditionally like playing through a narrow channels, looking for the opportunities, Rami.
Yeah, it'd be great to see some switching around. It's a little bit hard for us to see here in the commentary box. We can only see what you're seeing. Looks like it's sticking pretty closely to that magnetic wall on the other side. Strong drive there from the US. And again, the Colombian switching it well across the court. He's got a bit of a battle against the American there.
Yeah, it looks like 2 players there in the cover defense. One attacking the player, the one just making sure he cleans up. That was, again, number 6, Shen. He seems to be everywhere in the pool already early in those early stages, with number 12, Ray Antos, covering up. And it does look like It's back in the middle of the pool and the dangers. Now, I think that was taken there by the Colombians to try to open up the space for me.
Yeah, the Colombians traditionally like their deep switches. It almost seems counterintuitive to be moving backwards, but sometimes that can really open up the play for a team if they go back towards their own tray. And you can see now the Colombians getting a strong drive along that wall. We've had a ref calling something out. We've had a penalty goal awarded there.
Yeah, I've seen a single of a slash and then a give out, and yeah, we've got the subbing, and I haven't seen a signal from the deck refs to indicate it, but everyone's swimming back, so it must have been a goal, and it was in the US end, so it must be another goal from Colombia, Romy.
Seems a very strange call to award there, with neither team particularly close to the goal tray. I assume the ref has decided there that the Colombians had a runaway that was shut down by the US chopping at them. What are your thoughts on that, Dave?
Yeah, anything in that 3-meter G, which is an almost certain goal, allows the referees to say, yeah, that was going to go in the tray, but that foul stopped it, and they can award a goal instantly. It doesn't have to go near the tray, but it can be within that 3 to 6 meter area, and they deemed it as a clear runaway, as the Colombians already again spraying pressure onto the U.S. However, the clock hasn't changed to 2 goals, so I think we might have missed something, but I might check with the deck while you continue there, Romy.
Yeah, we're just looking at a great response from the Colombians there. We'll just wait to see the ref's call. That's a goal there for Colombia. Well driven. They've really put the US on the back foot there with that early goal awarded. Looks like
another goal, and they clicked that over to 2, but I'm not sure. And we're just getting it confirmed, but
not too sure what's happening there. The US seem to be on the back foot here, with the Colombians just applying the pressure beautifully in the first 5 minutes of this game. Just waiting for the reset there, and away they go.
They're saying number 3, and I think they're missing my point. I just might go out and check, Romy, if you just bear with me.
Not a problem, Dave.
Because I think it's important for our views to say that, as we see that Shen Alexandra, shout out to the Team USA. And for your information, there is no N in the name Shen. I possibly should be pronounced Shay. Thank you for that, Shay. I will take that, and I see the X on a glue over top of the E, and I apologize for that, but that might be just my poor reading of the things, but just bear with me for a second.
Yeah, Dave's just going to go tidy up the scoreboard there. We're not too sure what's going on. Again, we've got that strong drive along the wall there by the Colombians. We'll see now if the US can pick up their defense. They've been really set back on the back foot so far in this game. Again, a bit hard to see along that wall. Looks like the Colombians are again driving it.
Yeah, we got someone going to the deck to sort of check on the score for us because our walkie-talkies seem to run out of power today because they weren't charged on the charge last night. But yeah, it looks like the Colombians are in the middle of the pool, and the Americans, after a nice steal and trying to account an offensive here, and the Americans are trying to say. Now, I just got confirmation, Romy. It's only 2-0.
Right, okay, so a bit of confusion in here in the commentary box. Again, we can only see what you're seeing.
It's not surprising. I'm looking everywhere. There's so much excitement at the Aquatic Center today. I'm looking everywhere, and I'm just going to focus in. And looks like Catalina Y. Somoza, Amour pour le sempre impressionné de brand Piranha. And I think she should have a big shout-out for the Piranha gear that's being worn by number 3 as the Colombians celebrating the 3rd goal. And it looks like number 11, Juan Castellon, or as that's how you maybe has Juan's. You've got me now. I'm so gun-shy on pronunciation wrong, but it's number 11 for Colombia, and now it is 3-0, Romy.
Yeah, such a strong attack already from the Colombians. The US just seeming to hesitate there and don't really seem to be playing their game at all, letting the Colombians just move the puck wherever they like. Got a strike taken now. Very strong swimming from the Colombian boy there, but not really followed up by his team.
Yeah, there seem to be the Colombians either are isolating the U.S. team in their offense, but or the U.S. is playing a bit. I hate to use the word a bit sloppy in their defensive in their line structure, but that's what the coach will probably look for to correct at any timeout. But we have another call called for the referee where we're about 6 minutes. We're at halfway mark, Rami, and the Colombians are showing their dominance in this game. But I'm not sure that they just seem to be tussle in the middle of the pool, and then one or two teams make a drive. And at this point, the Colombians have made less mistakes than the U.S. team, Rami.
I'd certainly think that is a contributing factor to this game. We've seen some good play from the Americans, but they are perhaps just a bit tired. We've had a very long day here at the Aquatic Centre, and we're going until 9 o'clock at least tonight. Our officials will be here a lot longer. And Dave, you've been commentating an awful lot today. This would be your 7th or 8th game, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I did have a break where I had a call from work and I had to go back. But as again, the Colombians are pressuring and peppering the goal, and a nice little drop underneath the shoulder move by eventually the goal scorer. And I'm having a look. It looks like number 13. K? CYK? No, the goal is being awarded to number 7, Santiago Morales. But I saw some lovely underbody to pass there where he sort of dropped it. He enticed the American defender into coming into it. He drove the puck under his chest and slid it to his into the goal tray. It was a lovely goal as we see a timeout being called from the Americans, and I think it's a good time, good call out, and from the Americans on this thing, so the coach can get in there and have a good chat to him.
Now, Dave, you're an elite coach here, one of our more experienced coaches. I imagine you're taking quite a keen interest in the under-23s division. Have you seen anything you're liking so far? What are your expectations for the comp?
Yeah, well, look, I'm just always curious and constantly analyzing the play strategies that's been announced, and obviously very keen on watching the Turkey game because they were silver medalists behind us in Stellenbosch. And given their dominance today over New Zealand and dominance in this competition in the under-23s, men's at least, very keen to get our boys used to that style of hockey, which is tough, fast, hard, and just about everything you can ask for a team. Kudos to the Turkish team, and they're great. So. Yeah, I always look at all the other teams, too. Don't get me wrong. I always look for new developments in the sports. I saw a lot of Colombian action with the flushing of the breathing, the bouncing up and down. I've seen some different styles being tried. I really enjoyed the game this morning with the two teams probing back and forth, and it was really, really good. But as we see, the Colombians are still dominating with 5 minutes left to go in this half, and the American defense is being broke down where 4 or 5 Colombians have swum to the tray. But the puck has been repelled by a good, strong defense, but it's not lasting, unfortunately, for the second and third efforts where you really need to have. It looks like number 4, Emmanuel Zappa, has put the 5th goal in for Colombia. As I was trying to say to you, Rami, is that what I see the American defense is doing quite well is repairing that first attack. They're even got the numbers back for the second, but unfortunately, you have to be down there ready in the recycling quick enough to propel the 4th and 5th attack, especially from a Colombian side, Romy.
And we saw a very intense game in this court. The last game, the Turkish playing the New Zealand, the Kiwi team going down to the Turkish 6-1. Dave, you were in here watching very keenly, I see. Where do you think the New Zealanders faltered?
Well, I don't know if they were a bit flat. They started quite well, but the Turkish was just all over them. They had the energy, they had the speed, they had the anticipation. One of the things that I thought was extremely well was their anticipation, particularly number 4 of the Turkish team. He was anticipating what the New Zealanders were doing. The New Zealanders went and they fell into that trap. He intercepted a few plays and he made decisive moves that put them in a position where they can, consolidate and then attack. So just from my opinion is that Rami, is that the Turkish had it off, had them on a lot of numbers, a lot of ways, a lot of directions. It wasn't just one thing. Yeah, I hear some comment coming in. Visibility is really bad today. Okay.
It was wonderful this morning when the pool had just been freshly cleaned. We are coming on to 6 o'clock here in Hobart time. The pool's getting a bit dirty now.
And how many games did we have today, Rami? I'm looking at the board, and
we've gone from number 103, and now we're playing number 123. So 20 games in this pool, another 20 in the
players,
other.
That's 200 players. That's 400 players for the team. And yeah, it's not too bad. I can still see the other side. Is it maybe your screen definition? Looks like number 7 for Colombia, Santiago Moraz, has put the 7th goal or the 6th one. I think it's the 7th goal in the tray with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left to play. William, I hear you. Is it in the last couple of days you've seen it deteriorate at this time of day, or is it you might have watched an earlier game and or is it something you just noticed it's really bad in today compared to other days? I guess I'm waiting for a live answer from him, but he's actually on the chat. Aren't I a bit silly? Rami, I think you should talk for a little while.
Yeah, and certainly thinking about the way the Turkish were playing with lots of numbers on the bottom, we're seeing a good replication of that from the Colombians. I'm seeing lots of yellow bathers on the bottom of the pool, quite often a lot more than the US are, and it really pays off when you come forward towards the goals like this, as you're seeing now. Got a call against the refs, and looks like, yep, that'll be a goal. Number 3 there.
Ivan Marins, looks like. He's gotten in the action. I think that's his first goal of the day, as the Colombians again dominate this first half in terms of the goal scoring. And I have to say they've actually dominated possession of the puck. They've also dominated in positioning of the puck. Always seem to be in the defensive end of the American under-3 players. But I know this under-23 players is a fairly young team, Rami, and they probably got a few years left in them.
Yeah, I've been speaking to their coach a bit. He's a wonderful guy. And look, coming to a tournament like this as a development team, you can't have your expectations too high. And to be honest, the attitude the USA and also Canada that they bring to the court is just so impressive. They just always seem to have smiles on their faces. And it's never about whether or not they win. It's just about how they feel in the pool, whether or not they're happy that they had a good game. Got a nice drive there from number 6 from the USA. Called back to his teammate, number 8. Unfortunately stolen off the wall. And the Colombians going for a switch there. They're a very switchy team. They like to move the puck around the court a lot.
Yeah, they certainly do. And William, thanks. I'm getting your message. Sorry to say my quality on my streaming was poor, and you have switched to HD, and it's much better. And the LOL and laughing out loud. Well, I'm glad to hear that, because I would have been straight onto the boys, and they would have been in there making sure they do an extra clean on the pool. But I can tell you the Aquatic Center here has been very helpful as the Americans are pressing into the Colombian side. And I'm glad they're listening to the commentator, because they're actually driving and putting some pressure on that Colombian line. Now, that pass was obstructively knocked down, but it was good of that Colombian player. He should have recognized it and just got out of the way and let the play continue on. But I think he's going to be called anyways. Accidentally, yeah, he recognizes that. But it was good to see that he actually, just got out of the way. He recognized he got it, but the damage had been done, and unfortunately the referee had pulled it. And it looks like we hit half time in this game. 7-0 Colombia over the U.S. team, and it's been an exciting half. However, I'd have to say Colombia has dominated in all the stats, including the scoreboard, Rami.
Yeah, it's almost a shame for the USA that time was called then. It looked like they had a great opportunity to score a goal. Unfortunately, the clock just beating them there. I do think they responded well to the Colombians just in those last few minutes, working to make the game theirs rather than just being reactive to the Colombian force. It hasn't been helpful so far.
Yeah, I can't say the support for the U.S. has been a bit bad, and there goes the Colombians. If we don't have a shot of them, but they're doing their flushing exercise. If we go to this camera here, and you'll see them bouncing up and down, and that's something that the Colombian team has sort of looked at in terms of flushing and keeping the oxygen flowing. I was talking to the coach before about this wonderful technique. It's something they do in free diving and the deep diving, so they actually brought it into the game to help half time. I will make a shout out for in your support in that. Those watching streaming live and they're enjoying this, please go to www.gofundme.com/Hobart2000 and maybe throw $1 into it if you're really enjoying this thing. And remember, it's not going to Rami and I sitting in here. It's going to support junior hockey so that we can continually bring you this type of level of standard, not just in presentation, but the quality in a tournament, because In Hobart, we're very fortunate with a large contingent of volunteers. And if you're down here at the Aquatic Center, you see lots of purple shirts. And these people have given up their time and effort, like most of us do in underwater hockey, to bring you this wonderful tournament. So go to the site, throw $1 or $2 in there, and if you're happy to do that, we'll be happy to raise it. We're still at about just under $3,000, but our target is $10,000 by the end. So come on, folks. Drop a little penny in there, and with the 5,000 views we've had, Romy, I reckon people can throw in 50 cents, and that would put us right on our mark. But
Yeah,
we get ready to start. I'll leave it over to you, Romy.
And to have this streaming service free, for those of you watching in Spain 2 years ago, you did have to pay to watch the streaming games. It's not only good for the supporters back home who can't make these games, it's a great training tool for the teams in the pool. I know a lot of these teams will go home after these games and watch and see what they can improve on and what their strengths might have been, as well as how to combat the teams they've been confronting. Got 10 seconds until this game starts again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the second half. I hope the U.S. can had a good cut from their coach and give some inspiring words of we're off and running in this game, and let's see what the U.S. can do and muster to break this onslaught of the Colombian dominance in the first half, Romy.
Yeah, certainly hard for the USA to claw back this game now, but it'd be wonderful to see them put a puck in the tray. I know they've had a bit of trouble scoring goals this tournament, but they've been close a number of times. Even just now, looking at them going on the offensive, what a wonderful start to the half for them.
Yeah, well, they just on that, I'm looking at the stats now, and as of this morning, the U.S. have put in 7 goals. Unfortunately, they have 53 against. But look, they're 6 goals ahead of the Canadians and a couple of goals ahead of Argentina, and that's pretty impressive. And let's see if they can put a couple in this game and see add to that total. And once again, the Colombians have moved the puck to the other side. I mean, they're very good at playing that channel, but they're very happy to. They sort of divide the pool up into 3. They have a channel on the left, a channel in the middle, and a channel on the right, and they'll channel it through and look at for your weaknesses. And as you can see, they've really squared up the U.S. backline, Romy.
Yeah, lots of double teaming from the Colombians. We're seeing a lot of solo efforts from the USA, but the Colombians always just seem to have a mate or two waiting to help out their teammates.
Yeah, and as the Colombians sort of push it back into the corner, the American number 6, Shea, I'm sorry about that, Shea, got in the puck and drove it out in the defensive line. And the Americans are down in support while the Colombians are recycling it, and the outside people are watching, and the referee, unfortunately, just on the point when the Colombians were looking to move it up, and the referee has given a warning to number 13, Finn Uppergaz from Colombia, and he's moving back into position. Early in this thing, I'm seeing a bit of sluggishness in the Colombians. I think they've taken the hand off the throat of Colombia. They've taken the hand off, and they see what the Americans can do on it.
Nice cut across into the center of the pool there. Wow, what an impressive swim from the Colombians. Again, great double teaming against the USA. Just sandwiching that guy just so he can't move the puck at all. Wonderful switching again. It looks like the Colombians are going to double switch again here.
Yeah, that was an interesting move. But look, it's driven the defense way wide of their lines and opened up the center channel, Romy.
Yeah, excellent work there from the USA, bringing it up into the Colombian defense. Let's see if the USA can bring it out of their own goal tray now and push it back, put the Colombians on the back foot again. Go onto the wall on the far side now. Again, a bit hard to see.
Yeah, it's going down in the into the Colombian corner, and I'm used to seeing the Colombians hustling, but the forward line's just swimming back casually, I thought there, Romy, but they're down there. There they are. They're all supporting each other in the play, and they're crossing it from one side, and they've caught the back line of the American team a bit on the hop and that sort of things.
Oh, and just not quite followed through there. Unlucky for the Colombian, although honestly, he should know better than just flicking blindly and leaving the puck there. Well caught by the USA guy to keep it out of the tray. And it goes into the corner. Gee, that's great defense from USA. Such heart to commit to the puck.
Yeah, I see your live chat there, Catalina Esamov, and I think I've got it Panda Piranha, and they always give everything. And I'm not sure if that's a club in Colombia or that's a sponsor of the team, and that's the shout out. I'll do it in English, but I'll try to do it in Spanish for you. Amor por sembrar, le major brande piranha sempre la dan toda. I probably didn't do that any justice in that. Rami, are you better at Spanish than me? You probably are.
Unfortunately, I can only speak a few words of broken French. Hola, amigos.
Buenas noches from Hobart, our Colombian viewers, and thank you for joining us as number 7 for the Americans. Has been asked. Ega has been asked to sit on the bench. I'm not sure the penalty was for. Helen is watching the play as it looks like the Colombians have brought the puck and scored their number 8 goal, while the Americans were down a player. And we have number 7, Edgar Atkins, very disappointed by that because he knows he made a mistake and he's let the team down by having one player down, Romy.
Yeah, and that'll be number 7 again for Colombia, Santiago Morales, scoring their goal. Gee, he's been on fire tonight. I think that's his 3rd.
Yeah, I think you're right there, and I think it's good to see the goals. I think in the last couple of games, you either seen Emmanuel, Santiago, and Jordan getting a few goals, but it's nice to see someone else, Santiago, putting in a few goals.
Strong drive there from the Colombians. And again, if you look, you can see he's got a mate waiting on his right, waiting for the puck to spill out to him, and also a halfback waiting behind him for that curl and pass back.
Yeah, that's typical Colombian structure there, Rami. Very box-orientated. They have a watching, waiting player there waiting to support the drive. And once again, they're driving and putting all sorts of pressure on the American back line. But they didn't, instead of recycling back because there was no players there, he made a smart move, put it in the corner, and say, okay, well, if you guys want to bring it out there, bring it out there. But we're going to walk back and we're going to try to drive you off on the 45. And just on cue, they do a square movement of the puck to the center of the pool where all the options are open and all the numbers are there. And lo and behold, the lovely defensive move by the Americans who saved that from almost certain goal, Romy.
Yeah, the American defense here has been quite good tonight. Certainly, they've been on the back foot a lot, and we've seen some great clearances, always to the wall. Unfortunately, the Colombians are quite good at ripping it off the wall and bringing it back a deep little switch and into the center to put in the goal, rather than using the back wall, just going through the center corridor. We've just had a call from the ref against the Colombians by the looks of things. I didn't quite catch what that foul was.
Yeah, no, I saw a bit of a slash of the wrist. A slashing of the arm, which sort of signals a stick foul. So yet again, the Colombians have been asked to move back and give the Americans a bit of a free run with the puck and let's see what they can do with it. It's still bottled up in their what I would say is their channel. They're looking to move it up. If someone has micked it out into the middle of the pool, as the Colombians have picked up the crumbs and starting another drive into the center of the pool.
Yeah, what we saw there was the U.S. Player had a great drive, but unfortunately he was just by himself again and got swamped by the Colombians and shut down. Oh, what an excellent knockdown. Unfortunately, it looks like he might have... Oh, no, it's still going. Yeah, wonderful work from the U.S. defense, but it looks like, unfortunately, the puck has gone into the tray again, and that will be a goal for Colombia. Number 14 by the looks of things. Oh, there is no number 14.
Yeah, it looks like it's number 15.
Number 15.
Yeah, Andreas Perez. Yeah, we got a bit confused there. There's so many numbers flying around the room. There's people coming in and out and stuff like that. Hey, Nachos Tato, hola, hola. Yeah, so you're cheering on the boys for another goal. Looks like number 13 might be suffering from a bit of a head injury, but he's waving it off. Am I right? No. There's 4 players in the Colombian bench. I thought I had a bit of a miscount there, where the camera was just too focused in. But the Americans are, is that number 5? Yeah, that looked like number 9 actually. Tristan De Bruyne. Boy, that was a lovely control of the plex. But unfortunately, his players were sort of watching what he was doing, and he was left alone and isolated. And nothing like being isolated against a Colombian team, Romy.
Yeah, the Colombians have brought it into that corner a number of times now, and they seem almost too calm, just letting the US bring it out rather than passing to a teammate. Perhaps that's a set play to let the US take control of the puck and then intercept it. I know the Australian women used to do something quite similar to that.
Yeah, no, that I've seen that tactic a number of times, Romy, is that what they try to do is, square up the back line, meaning reduce the numbers of the back players by allowing them to bring it up, because I think in most teams, as the Colombians, by doing that, isolate their back line with numbers. And we got number 12, Andreas who scored that one. Just to finish off what I was saying there, Rami, is that if you ask a back to bring it up and then you take it from him, then the back line is down to 2 players. And then all you do is attack with 3 versus 2. And I'm afraid numbers will prevail, and more times than not you're going to score. It looks like the American coach Ian Curtin has called the timeout. He's going to go rally the boys. It is 10-0 for Colombia, as the Colombians are running away with this game, and it looks like we have 6 minutes left to go in this half. I don't know, 10-0. That's a huge mountain. I think it's 1 goal at a time. I think each of the coach would be saying to them, "Look, let's focus on this one element and let's build up slowly from that." Rami, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, it is an uphill battle for the US, and it has been a very tough tournament for them already. I think from this point forward, they need to be setting themselves small goals. They want to reduce the casualty here, try and stop the Colombians from sinking even more goals into the tray, and even just a counter goal would be so good for their morale.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think what they need to work on is their attacking things. I think defensively they're doing okay on the first and second waves. The third and fourth, that comes with a bit of a support from your forwards, making sure they're down there occupying some space and stealing the puck. But they need to start working on better connections up in the forward line and rally something for attack, because it's been a while since we've seen them in the Colombian end causing havoc in there. Because puck's either been in the middle, just over halfway, but back in the U.S. defense, as again the Colombians have taken it down their wall channel and pushing the Americans back into a defensive position, Romy.
And the Colombians have been very good at luring the US players into overcommitting to the puck, as we've seen in the corner, but also just holding the puck and then swerving or flicking past the US player, which you would expect from a developing team like the US. Looks to have been cleared here, but it's gone into the tray now.
Yeah, exactly my point before, where they did quite well on the first and second attempt, and we don't have. We're actually getting a goal scored, and the chief referee is indicating that it's either a no goal. Are we saying no goal? And it looks like number 11, Juan Castillo, has been sent to the bin. In fact, it is number 15, an earlier goal scorer, Andres Perez, has been asked to sit down. I believe it was for 1 minute, and no goal awarded, Rami. Obviously, not happy, the referees, of what he does, and he's looking a bit tired as we progress. We scan back into the play, as the Americans will have 1 minute at least to see if they can mount some attack against this Colombian outfit.
Yeah, and with the Colombians, one of their biggest strengths being the numbers on the bottom, it's a good opportunity for the US to carve through them. I'd expect that they have 2 forwards and 3 backs in at the moment. I'm not too sure what the Colombian protocol is for kickouts. I know for Australians, if we have a player kicked out, we always send a forward to the sub bench and make sure we've got 3 solid backs in there just to hold the defense. Certainly when you've got a player out, you're not really looking to score. You're looking just to try and make sure you don't concede any goals.
Yeah, I think, Romy, the Colombian structure does allow for sort of a pivot and some back players, and I'm sure in a defensive situation they sort of, err on the saying of caution and have more defensive players than more attacking players, as the Colombian player Andres Perez, number 15, joins the play, as he's had his minute rest and he's time to get in there, and he'll probably be trying to make up for what he did, because he's actually gone straight to the bottom and he's trying to assist his teammates and drive the puck closer to the American goal.
Yeah, and with the player on the bench, he's had a nice minute's breather, and you'd expect him to be able to just go in and do his stuff straight away, with an excellent drive there from the United States player. Unfortunately stopped on the wall.
Yeah, and again, you see the American defense in the forward line is sort of allowing the Colombians a bit of free rein onto their back lines, and the American players are sort of rotating and not getting into what I would classify a strong position. Very fortunate this time that their player, looks like number 9, Tristan De Bruyne, once again has gone out and cleared it. And no, I'm sorry, that was number 3, Dicker Auken, and he's cleared it out. But again, he's straight away, he's got the puck. He's swum it a little bit, which is good for the space, but he's actually just giving it straight back to a Colombian player. And he said, Gracias, and drove it straight down the pool. And we have another build-up attack, and the American defense is sort of waiting for a flick. But it looked like a good knockdown. But unfortunately, in this situation, there was 3 hungry Colombians sitting right there on the goal tray. And yes, they've been awarded with a goal. And it looks like number 7, Santiago Morales, getting back into the action with at least a second goal of the game.
I think
Romy?
it might be his 4th.
His 4th goal,
Yeah.
you reckon? Well, there's 11 on the scoreboard. He must have a fair share of those because I remember struggling with his last name constantly tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, another goal conceded there for the US. They have just got 2 minutes left of this game. Hopefully, they can keep another one out. And they've been so close to the Colombian goal tray a number of times. I really am hoping they can put a goal in the tray now.
Yeah, they might have caught the Colombians napping there because the chief ref, Helen Canavan, had no exceptions for that Colombians taking their sweet time to the back wall, and she called them, and 2 of them had to put a bit of a sprint on to touch the wall, turn around, and start again rather than have their traditional. But that doesn't seem to faze them because they're straight onto the American back line and attacking that goal once again, Romy.
Yeah, very intense hockey here. The American backline, very impressive. We just had a foul called up, and that would be... Now, Dave, we've had some issues with this one. Now, is that obstruction or is it barging?
The signal is actually for both. So one needs to determine what it is in the referee's mind. Unfortunately, we don't have a signal that distinguishes the two. Have far too many signals anyways. But to any sort of advantage in either a barging or a shepherding, obstruction is that sort of signal. Now, if it is sort of deliberate, in this case it wasn't deliberate, then we start the escalation up to a penalty. If it was deliberate and it was actually destructive, meaning if that's the player had took a deliberate run at another player and charged them, I'm sure they'd be sitting on the bench with a 2-minute penalty. But in this case, it's probably just accidental. The player happened to, trying to chase the puck and ran into the player and obstructed him from doing what he was trying to do in a non-advantage play, Romy.
We've seen a fairly clean game from the men here today. Only a couple of kickouts, which is always good to see. Just a drive into the centre corridor. No, it looks to be going to the far wall here. And I think the Colombians, with such a convincing lead now, are probably just trying to move the puck around and just perhaps even practice a few things for their upcoming games.
And just on cue, number 12 goes in. And the crowd continues to go around. Well, I haven't seen a Colombian not go 12, but it looks like number 3, Ivan Muntz, has got at least number 2. I remember calling his name earlier. But there's still a very strong presence from both the Colombian representative and the American team. Unfortunately, the American team's supporters are a little quieter than I've seen them, but with a scoreline of 12-0. And it looks like the game is over. We have a final score of 12 to Colombia and US 0. A never dominant display by Colombia, Romy.
Yeah, an impressive game from both sides. As we can see, the Colombians very dominant in this game. I do think the USA should be commended for their heart, and they did come very close a number of times. I don't know if these boys will be clashing again. If they do, perhaps it would be a great opportunity for the US to score. Looks like Colombia will be going in very strongly into the semi-finals, which start in 2 days' time.
Yeah, Rami, I think if you want to jump out there and grab a few of the young boys, have an interview with a few of the boys, Rami, and while you're doing that, I might just put a shout-out for people to go again to our GoFundMe ad and jump online. If you like what you're seeing on the broadcast, then throw a few shekels our way. And when I mean shekels, $1 or something like that, something that you can you think it's worth, and help us raise the funds to help support junior underwater hockey out in across the world. So we'll switch over to the outdoor mics, and we'll let Rami run out there and try to get some Colombian players. And looking like he's already coming over to find someone. And that's once again, ladies and gentlemen, that's www.gofundme.com/Hobart2017 to help support junior hockey. And we'll cross over to Rami as she sets herself up in the camera to have an interview with a couple of players from this game where Colombia beat the U.S. 12-0.
Hi, and joining me on the court here, I have number 6 for the USA team. What's your name?
My name's Che.
We were mispronouncing your name on the live feed, but we had perhaps a friend tell us our mistake. You just went down to Colombia. How do you reckon the boys are feeling after that game?
I reckon they're feeling pretty tired, but we had a couple good runs in there. A lot of us stayed down on the bottom a couple times, so that was pretty neat.
Yeah, you got so close to that tray on a number of occasions. My heart was bleeding for you guys when you missed it.
Yeah, we got close a couple times. We got them in that corner, and all we needed to do is we needed our forwards and our backs to really seal the deal and get them in, get the puck in there.
We've got one more day of the round robin tomorrow. Who are you playing?
We are playing Australia, I think.
Well, I will have to cheer for Australia here, but I was backing you guys. Now, what are you feeling for the rest of the tournament?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about our chances. Pretty good about our boys. I think we clicked more as a team in the second half of this game than in the first half. So hopefully that continues to improve.
And now, as we're moving towards the tail end of the tournament, we've had a lot of talk about the presentation evening at the end of the tournament. Are you guys, have you sorted out your costumes? Do you know what you're wearing?
Oh, yeah. I heard a lot of the boys, including me, are going to wear like maybe green jeggings, green pants, and some other colorful shirts and stuff. I don't really quite know what we have in mind.
Awesome. Well, can't wait to see you there. Best of luck for the rest of the tournament. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and I'll see if I can go and grab a Colombian now. I'm not sure if they speak English, and I certainly don't speak Spanish, but we'll see how we go. Spanish are looking a little bit busy here. I'm not sure we'll grab them. We'll just wait another minute or two if that's all right. Yeah, I'm getting the nod from my team in the commentary box. I know, Dave's telling me I should cut it. All right. Thanks, everyone. Good to be here. Yeah, all right. Thank you, guys. Catch you tomorrow.